So today, inshallah, we go over the mortgage. Mortgage or Rahn, the question is discuss what advice should be given to Muslim, regarding the mortgages, yeah, in different circumstances, whether they should go for it, and deal with it in it, or they should not, or they should deal in it under some under some criteria, under some conditions. So what is the mortgage in and of itself? In introduction, you would say that to Muslims are advised to approach mortgage with caution. So it is not a trivial matter that they should indulge without thinking, without prior thinking, just do it. No, it is not just like that. Just like the any transaction, any sale and purchase, they can do it off the cuff. And but there are some matters like mortgage, they do not they should not get indulged in them easily. So they should be cautious about that. That is the first our recommendation, or our suggestion for that. So first thing is that the mortgage contract, it should comply with Sharia principles. Yeah, it should comply. So Islamic jurisprudence recognizes the mortgage as a legitimate thing. Legitimate thing means it is permissible. Mortgage, it is a legitimate because it secures a debt. Its purpose is good. What is the purpose of mortgage? When we take something, when we hold something of others, and we do not let him to benefit from his own property, only because we want to secure our debt, we want to secure our loan that we already have given to him. So we have given to him a loan, now we need to secure that loan. Yeah, we have some some fears about that. There could be some fears about that, reservations about that he may repay it or not. So to secure our money, we just hold his property in our hand. Got it? So that's why, because since the objective is legal, objective is high and good, so Sharia legitimate it as a mean of securing a debt. But its use must consider the conditions of permissibility. Yeah, so it should be free from interest. So it's good we hold his property as a mortgage, but it is not good to put some more interest percentage on the loan. So this is this leads to what? This leads to persecution. So and talking about the advice, so in introduction you just see you mentioned these 3-4 points, that it is we should be cautious about this. And second thing, the mortgage it must be Sharia compliant. And the third thing is that it should be avoid of interest. And then what are the recommendations? Recommendation could be mentioning the alternatives. Yeah, advice could be in the form of giving the substitute and alternatives of the mortgage. So if this is something precarious, this is something it is not we are not feeling satisfied about it, so what is the other way? Yeah, what is the way out? So we should advise some leeways and the alternatives. Okay. First things first, which is we have to define the mortgage. What is mortgage? Got it? So mortgage in Islamic law, it is detention. Holding. Detention means to hold back. Detention of a thing, asset, as a guarantee for a debt that can be satisfied from it. Got it? Detention of an asset as a guarantee for a debt that can be satisfied from it. So you are the creditor, means you give money to a person, so that person is a debtor. Yeah, so what you do, you detain mean you take you hold his asset, one of his asset that belongs to him, and he is the owner. You are not the owner, you are just holding it in your possession. You just hold it for a specific period of time. You just hold it so that if he procrastinate to if he backs out to give the debt, to pay the debt, then from this asset you can satisfy your your debt. So you can sell it. If he is not paying, you can sell his house and get your money back. But there are some conditions, he cannot do this on his own. Yeah, if the debtor, he is delaying you are not, allowed to sell his property unless he allows you, the debtor, and he finally says, yeah, I can't pay, I am broke, yeah, so I can't pay you, so you can sell my property which is mortgage with you, just sell it and have your money. Got it? Or the the judge, yeah, court interferes, meddles here in their matter, and the court allows, the judge, he allows that, okay, I am selling this property, yeah. So it is not easy thing that the creditor, he just sell the mortgage for his money. So what is the its legitimacy in Quran and Sunnah? So all the time we seek legitimacy from Quran and Sunnah. That is the very primary source. So in Quran you have this verse in the chapter 2 and the verse 283, yeah. In kuntum ala safarin walam tajidu katiban farihanum maqbuta, yeah. If you are traveling, in kuntum ala safar, if you are on a journey, and walam tajidu katiban, and you do not find, and you can't find a scribe. Earlier we mentioned in the sale that the sale contract should be written down. So there must be a scribe, yeah, who write the matter, who write the conditions and everything, write down on a stamp paper, yeah, on a legal paper. It is recommended. So Allah says, if you don't find a scribe, then farihanum maqbuta, rihan. See here, so here in the verse the word rihan is used, farihanum maqbuta from qabad, so you can take a possession of some mortgage. So rihan and rehan, both are same words, raha noon. Here only alif is added. Got it? So this verse is the basis for the legitimacy of mortgage. Got it? Yeah. And Sunnah also provide examples. Prophet, peace be upon him, he was mortgaging a shield for barley, that when he was broke, there was no food, so he has no money. So what he did, he mortgaged his shield for barley. So he took some barley from barley kind of wheat, not fair, fine and fair, just like the wheat. So here you need to give advice. So you would say Muslims should view a mortgage not merely a loan. So it is not a loan, but it is a security contract. Wathiqa. It is a security. Yeah, this one, it is a wathiqa. Ensuring something, it gives you confidence. Yeah. So this guarantee is this is a guarantee. Second point is, second advice here is on legal understanding. Yeah, the Quran verse, this verse mentions that mortgage specifically in the context of being on a journey. Here is a check. Here is a caveat. Caveat here is that the jurist says this condition, the condition of travel mentioned in the verse, this condition is not restrictive. It is illustrative. Illustrative means it just illustrates the matter. It gives us some details. Normally, more often than not, people need to deal in mortgage during the travel, because during travel they don't find the other means, the scribe, the writing, the legal paper, stamp paper. So there are no other witnesses. So at that time they can do deal in mortgage. So it is not restrictive. Restrictive mean it doesn't mean that if you are not traveling you cannot deal in mortgage. Got it? This is very important legal point here that we learn in the fiqh. Okay, so what are the practical elements of a contract? So here, according to Hanafi school, the mortgage is valid when the asset is delivered to the creditor. There are some legalities, so our schools, they are different in that. So Hanafi school, he is very emphasized and stressed. It's stressed on the possession of the asset. Yeah, we are marhun bihi, the thing in which we are dealing the mortgage contract. So we should perform a proper mortgage contract with ijab and qubul. So it must include ijab and qubul. So the debtor, he will say, I am giving you my property as a mortgage, and the seller says, I am accepting this on behalf of my loan, which is upon you. So this is how they do the ijab, offer and acceptance, and this is how we do the contract. So Hanafi stress that there must be a proper carrying out a contract, and we make sure that the possession is the thing is handed over to the creditor. So if you say that I am giving you my the property papers, and he give not hand, and he don't hands over the papers, So this is not mortgage contract according to Hanafis. So unless it is physically and effectively given to the creditor, yeah, then the mortgage contract completes. So here advice, advice. So Muslim must ensure the contract is validly formed to avoid future dispute. So if you are following the Hanafi school, then you make sure that you make a proper, valid contract, and so that you avoid any dispute, future dispute. Now, advice in different financial situations. This is very important, so because the core of the question is about our suggestions about the mortgage. So but mortgage, this contract could be of different nature, diverse nature. So we say that if the mortgage is free of interest, mean it is Sharia compliant, yeah, it complies the Sharia rules, then Muslim may use it to secure lawful debts such as business loans or halal purchases. Yeah, in halal purchases we need to to give some time, we need to give some something as mortgage, as it facilitates financial transactions without exploitation. So see now, if somebody is not sure about the debtor that he will repay the debt, so what he do, he will say, I am putting some interest on this loan, so I will take some 2% interest on this. But if the debtor, he says that I make sure, I reassure you through mortgage, so just take my property, and you will be okay to, and you will be satisfied and confident to give me this loan, because my property is in your hands now. So it could be a mean of avoiding the interest, which is haram, prohibited. Got it? So mortgage, it facilitates the financial transactions in some cases. So if the mortgage involves interest, yeah, conventional banking for example, then the Muslims should avoid it, as riba is strictly prohibited. Yeah, and the alternative Islamic financing methods you can act upon. There are some alternative methods like murabaha. There is a sale called murabaha. In English you can say cost plus sale. So that is the alternative of riba. In Islamic banking, they introduced murabaha in the place of of interest. So instead of dealing in riba, which is prohibited, deal in murabaha, which is lawful, which is just Sharia compliant. Got it? So this is the alternative. Secondly, Muslim could be advised to find other ways to secure accommodations. So they need their property as well. So normally what bank do in loan matters, he takes your home as a mortgage. Your home, which is our essential basic need, the roof where we are living, yeah, where our family is living. This is very crucial and very important. This is our priority. This should be our priority, to secure our accommodation, to secure our residence. So we try utmost to secure our property. So we can instead of dealing in mortgage, because in that case it will be prone to perish. It will prone to, maybe you are giving your car and he is using it, or he is he backs out and he says, I won't give you back. Yeah, so if he afflict some harm to the car, to the camel, yeah, so what to do? So in that case you should seek some alternatives. So for example, you can rent your property, yeah, which is the leasing. Rent your property and just save money, saving up first, yeah, and then you can build your new house, or you can buy something you want. But there is no necessary need that you should take a loan and you should deal in the mortgage. Just avoid it. Yeah, rent your money. Yeah. That is alternative now. So right, then another recommendation is that Muslim often live as extended families, with their parents, and they are not solo. But right now it is flip. Yeah, people prefer to live alone, the solo families. But usually people they live together with their families, extended families, in the form of extended families. So there are many members, your brothers, and your parents. So it could be a means that can care of each other. So here we can help each other out. Instead of taking loan from a bank, and instead of giving your property, your home papers to the creditor, you can seek help from your brother, yeah, which is living with you under one roof. So there is family tie, there are family ties, family bond that helps you in this regard. Yeah, if you are living separately, then the bond becomes weak. The bond becomes weak, the family ties become weak. But if they are living together, so their benefits are common, yeah, their interests are common, so they will help you. And so in this regard, in this way, you can suggest that we should not go for the loan from any third party. So there are advantages in not taking mortgages. Got it?
Okay.
Yeah. Social practices consideration. Yeah. In conclusion, you would say Muslims should ensure mortgage comply with Sharia, that is the prerequisite. And by avoiding riba, confirming the assets legality, and understanding their rights and obligations. So using Islamic compliant contracts or ethical alternatives, it is advised to maintain fairness. So there will be fairness, there will be even more fairness and social responsibility also, and adherence to divine guidance. That is our prime objective, to adhere to what Allah commanded us. So the Sharia rules. So this is how you can tackle with this, the mortgage thing.